Everybody, welcome your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. We got a phenomenal guest today, but first of all, let's take care of a little bit of business. Promar Ahi is our sponsors on Mondays, Tuesdays, and on our live fishing shows. And without Promar, we couldn't do all the spectacular things we do. They make the bait scoops, the sabikis, the descending devices, the landing nets, the hoop nets, the gloves. I mean, the plethora of products that they provide for us on a daily basis is unbelievable. And the fact that they allow us to do this show 2 days a week, Mondays and Tuesdays are Promar days, and then they allow us to do all our live shows. Without them, we couldn't do all this. And a little bit later in the show, we'll show you a little video about some of their products. And everybody that watched the show on Friday with Brian and Justin and I want to thank all of you because, my goodness, the orders for the products came pouring in. They were overwhelmed by all of you ordering, making sure you have your landing net and your descending devices and all the things we went over on the show to make sure your private boat is ready to go. So thank you all very much for doing that and making sure your boat's ready to go. And hey, these guys are getting ready to leave on a trip. So we got a really special time to spend with Duke Ekstrom here. This is Tim Ekstrom's son. And I thought it would be perfect to bring him on the show. These guys are getting ready to leave. Duke, welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Hansen. I appreciate it. We're definitely excited to go on again.
This is so cool. What you guys have done to the industry. The industry's talking about our live show last week like you can't even believe. They can't believe what we were able to pull off, and everyone's super excited. We know where the industry's headed now. The one thing that they don't have that we have is this massive platform with 800,000 followers. So you know what that's like at your age to have 800,000 followers. It's kind of a big deal, right?
Oh yeah. I know friends that have millions, especially playing baseball. I mean, it's an insane amount of people that you can only imagine know you. It's a weird feeling too. You're like, that many people know about me? Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So I want to go all the way back because you've had a pretty unbelievable life because of the fact that you learned a work ethic at a very young age, and that brought you through some phenomenal things that you've done in your life. But let's go all the way back. When was the first time that your father took you fishing?
So I went fishing when I was 6 years old. We went on a 7-day trip. We went down to Aleos Rocks. It was absolute crap weather. Terrible. Terrible.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah. So we went down and just got the living hell beat out of us. But next thing you know, it's wide open yellowfin tuna and bluefin fishing. And my initial thought was I need to be back there. So I sprinted down and these guys were hooking me fish and I would just reel them in. And that's kind of how it started. Once that started, it was instant love for them. So we fished that, and from that day on, I don't think I've been seasick. Since that day, I it just went out of my head, and no, I haven't been seasick. Even playing baseball for 9 months and then fishing a trip, I still wouldn't get seasick from it. So it was born into my blood almost.
So were you the first trip you went on your 7-day trip? Were you on your dad's boat?
Yeah, Royal Star.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've grown up on this boat.
That's a hell of a way to start a fishing career. My goodness.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I started out going with my dad on the half-day boats off the San Clemente Pier, but I remember it like, and I know you do too, remember it like it was yesterday. We can touch that day still. It was a pretty special day, right?
I remember the outfit I was wearing. I remember the fish that we were catching, the grade. Like it was yesterday. I remember all of it.
Oh,
he'll bring back memories with me all the time when we're driving back up the line or something like that, and he'll be like, "Do you remember that?" I'm like, I remember everything, man.
Oh my gosh. Gang, yeah. We're talking with Duke Ekstrom here. We got quite a few new people just jumped on. Duke is the son of Tim Ekstrom. You guys have seen him on the show several times. And Tim and Roy Rose and we kind of broke the internet last Saturday. We did an hour and 46-minute live fishing down there. They won't tell us exactly where we were, but we were somewhere super special, 1,100 miles down the coast, 600 miles off the beach. And we got to watch you guys catch. We went back and watched. We got to watch you guys catch 40 wahoo and one on the fly rod, which was absolutely insane. And we got to watch all that live, gang. If you haven't watched the show, you need to go back and look. It's Saturday. It's available on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, Instagram, Facebook. And it is absolutely incredible because what Duke's dad did and Roy Rose, they opened up the wheelhouse to us and they allowed us to cruise around with them. And we got to, Tim broke down everything. Roy drove the boat. Duke was down there on the deck, gaffing fish. It was just an absolutely incredible, incredible thing to be involved in. And I guarantee you from this point forward, we have changed the way people are going to go about this long range fishing thing because we got a whole bunch of new people now that want to get on the Royal Star and go fishing, Duke.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing. We love seeing new faces and having them interact with our business and see what we're about. It's a great thing.
And how was the feedback for you? Did any of your friends see you?
Funny you mentioned. So I came back home. I literally, I think I was at home for an hour and where I was awake, and I took a nap, got back up. So I haven't even been able to respond to half my friends of what's going on. It's just been work, 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 work. It started today at 7 a.m. So I haven't had a chance, but I'd imagine, yeah, no one's been able to see this ever. I mean, who can say that they've been able to see a fishing boat live in action down the coast fishing wahoo and yellowfin tuna? No one.
Explain to people what you mean by you've been going full speed since last Saturday, gang. You guys got to wrap your head around this. They were on a 15-day trip. Duke, when did you guys get back to the dock?
So we got in yesterday. We left customs around 10:45, arrived at the dock at Fisherman's Landing at 11 a.m. and we instantly started offloading our beautiful catch, which was kept in RSW. So that process took about 45 minutes to an hour, and then we pulled over to our main dock, offloaded our anglers' gear into their dock carts, and then scrubbed and scrubbed the boat and started fixing everything in preparation for our 8-day arrival. By fixing, I mean a light bulb or two. So today we mainly focused on fueling up, scrubbing her again, making sure she's ready to go fishing, and that's about it. We also installed our new cushions for our spotting chair in the wheelhouse. So, but
we're going to look at that in just a minute. But I'm showing everybody the boat. When people don't understand what we're talking about, you and I know. Scrubbing the boat, gang. Look at that boat. They were on a 15-day trip, and then you guys had some phenomenal weather coming up the line. I was watching it. That was pretty fun, right?
Yeah, we actually hugged the beach a little bit. That way we avoided some of the bigger swells, but it was a little rocky and rolly, but it was a lot better than what we thought it was going to be. So we were blessed in that aspect.
But as we look at this picture of this boat, gang, and you listen to what Duke's saying, that boat had to be cleaned, spotless. These guys run an operation like you can't believe. When you get on the boat, when those passengers get on tomorrow, they're going to be stepping onto a boat that looks like it is brand new. Nobody knows it just got back in from a 15-day trip, right, Duke?
No, it has to be absolutely spotless. You have so much time at the dock, and you have enough time to make sure that she looks perfect, then you're going to make sure it looks perfect. So in that case, it's every single time. It has to be that way.
And it's kind of the way of the long range fleet down there in San Diego, gang. And you can absolutely tell right when you get on the boat if they take care of it or not, just by looking at it. Right when you get on, you already know, oh, whoops, I'm on the wrong boat. It's never going to happen on the Royal Star, gang. You get on there, the trash cans are spotless. Every single thing is spotless. Dude, just go over, because a lot of people are brand new. They're watching. We got 55 people watching live right now on YouTube. Go over what it's like to get the boat clean when you get in, because that's your job. That's what you got to do. You got the crew. You're in charge of that. Your dad's in charge of all. Plus you had to unload. How many fish did you unload?
I'd say roughly around 250 around there. We had 150, 160 wahoo and 60 tuna, 70 tuna, something like that. all quality, of
Right.
course.
It was beautiful. We got to watch it. It was
Yeah,
beautiful fishing.
yeah, yeah. But it's all about holding ourselves accountable within a crew, within the captain. Like, if the captains can't trust the crew to hold themselves accountable, then there's no, you won't have a proper crew. So we do a really good job about that. If you see a spot that needs to be done, you don't ask someone else to do it, you just get it done. So that's the main thing when it comes to scrubbing the boat or getting something done is if someone sees it within that crew that needs to be done, then just get it done. Don't ask someone else to do it.
Yeah. And something else that people need to understand that I get a lot of calls from a lot of younger people going, I want to work on a boat. I want to work on a boat. What they need to understand, and you can sum this up perfect. It's not a fishing job, correct?
No, fishing's the easy part.
No, you don't
100%.
get to, if you're the deckhand, you don't get to fish.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
That's
no.
not a fishing job. They look
No.
at it and they go, I want to go work on that boat, go fishing every day. No, no, no. That's not what's going on, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So the boat gets in, you unload 200 plus fish,
Hmm.
get them up there to the top of the dock, get them to the processor or whatever the people want to do with their fish. Now the real work starts, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So how we break it down is we have a chief engineer each trip. So myself, one of our other crew members, Brian also, he's a chief engineer. My dad's also a chief engineer. Whoever's the chief, they handle the engine room space. Writing down our fuel numbers, making sure everything's logged, that you've changed, that you've fixed, making sure the engine room's spotless, no one can slip. That's all handled. Now the rest of the crew will break up amongst themselves to clean the bathrooms, clean the galley, clean the upper deck, and scrub the hull itself. So wherever that position is, everyone kind of chooses a spot and then scrubs it as the way down. And then at the end of that, everyone looks around the boat, makes sure that there's no spots. And if there is a spot, then they collectively scrub that down and make sure it looks perfect.
And then as far as the interior, now you guys got a full on kitchen. We call it a kitchen on land, but with galley on the boat, but it's not a galley. It's like going into a five-star restaurant, right?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Those guys take really good care of that too. Which during the trip you'll have two chefs. You'll have a main chef and then a sous chef. Those two scrub the head chef. He usually takes care of the galley area, the inside, the interior where the grill is and ovens, all that stuff. And your sous chef will clean the tables, the floor, make sure there's not a single scale around at all. Ceilings scrubbed down, make sure there's no dust, and everything's in tip-top shape. Just like the crew, they're a part of our crew and they take care of that space.
And then something that people don't understand is they're working in a basically a five-star kitchen, gang, that is on the move. The boat's traveling at 10, 12 knots, but the ocean is unforgiving. There's no, oh, stop it from rocking, dude. Make it stop rocking so I can cook these eggs. No, they're going full force, gang. You got to understand. The whole everything's all over the place, and these guys are putting on one hell of a meal, right?
Yeah, it's and that's probably the hardest. That's the hardest role of this entire boat. I mean, you think about those guys. Let's say we're in some snotty weather. Those guys still need to prepare meals for 24 people. So, oh, that's not even including us. So really 32. But so those guys. So Charlie, Civic Dawn's leaving right now. I think you talked to them the other day, Mr. Hanson.
Oh, yeah, that's my buddy, Mike
There,
Laus. There he
there they
is.
go. Yep.
Got a nice load. Yeah, he started out working for my family up at Dana Point. That's where he came from.
Yeah, they're departing right now for some bluefin tunas.
Nice. We'll
But
be
but
talking to him tonight when he gets out there to the grounds.
let's hope he does well. I know he left as well as Pacific Fleet. He's got some good partners out there. But
Right.
gosh darn it, where was I going with this? Yeah, those guys.
The cook, the
I mean,
gal, how clean
yeah,
it is.
those guys definitely have the hardest job. They have to cook for all of our anglers as well as us, and make sure that it looks at the top quality, the best quality that they can produce. So they have a hell of a job on their hands.
Yeah, and your dad and I were trying to talk about that. Why? But the wahoo fishing was wide open. It was hard to focus on anything. That was just we couldn't have wrote the script any better, Duke. That
Yeah,
was just some of the most epic live fishing you could possibly imagine. And even Roy was pulling the anchor, and your dad and Roy were telling us, yeah, it was a little slow yesterday, so we really don't know what's going to happen. I think the anchor came through the roller, and you guys were hooked up.
It was too. I was back there. I think it was Jackson and Adriel were up top, but I was back there, and one of our anglers, Andy Cooperman, he's a doctor. He casted his fly rod and asked me to throw a little bit of bait for him. I was like, yeah, sure. And then a wahoo flashed right next to the boat and ate the fly. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was such a great day. But I want to go down into the galley because you're seeing what these guys are doing. This is basically the family boat, Tim and Brian, and you're part of the family, and
Randy and Roy, yeah.
you guys, but it's a family deal, but you know what's going on. You grew up on the boat. So the galley is such an integral part of this whole operation because that can make or break the trip. Fish come and fish
100%.
go, and we can't control the fish. We know that. But
Yep,
what
100%.
those guys in the galley can make or break the trip. And I want to talk about that a little bit. I was trying to talk about it, but there was too many damn fish last trip. Trying to explain to some of the people because it's kind of like when you wake up in the morning, there's food. There's food, there's food, there's food, there's food. It's like being on a cruise ship and you got high quality coffee and the best creamers and just kind of go through what it's like breakfast service, break, lunch, dinner, and there's food all day with besides all that. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. So our meals are divided in we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and two snacks, an AM snack and a PM snack in between. But our breakfast time usually starts anywhere from 0500, 0600, so 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, depending on if we're fishing or not fishing. So what you'll do is you'll wake up and you'll take a seat wherever, and the sous chef will serve you your meal of the day, which is listed on up forward. You'll see a menu of what they have to serve that day. And if you get hungry before that or after that, there's also fruit, there's salad, there's snacks, all lined up right next to the coffee machine. So there's an abundance of food as well as a fresh meal prepared by that main chef that trip. And then after that, about I'd call it 9 to 10 a.m. around there, you have your AM snack, which depending on what the sous chef wants to prepare, it could be a fruit salad, it could be a cinnamon roll. It could be whatever. It's just another meal that you get to eat throughout the trip if you miss breakfast or if you're still a little bit hungry. Then lunch is around noon to 1 o'clock. Same deal. You sit down, sous chef will serve it to you, whatever's listed on the menu. PM snack, 3 or 4 o'clock, and then dinner service. You'll have one of us crew members or the chief engineer. Whoever's serving that night will serve you. Your sous chef will prepare either a salad or soup that night, and you also get your main course, which is right after your super salad, and then you also get a choice for dessert or no dessert, whatever you choose, which is also prepared fresh by the sous chef.
Is gang, it's hard to comprehend. And what Duke's talking, and the boat's flying all over the place. If it's rough, things are flying everywhere, but you wouldn't know it by looking at the quality of the food and they're not just slopping some stuff on a plate and throwing it out there at you. This stuff is presented just like it is at a five-star restaurant, right?
Has to be. It has to be. We really want to let our anglers know too, and let them see that we take pride in everything we do, whether it's the food, whether it's the fish quality, whether it's us crewmen attending our passengers. It, everything counts. Everything counts in everyone's experience that comes out on one of these things.
It is absolutely incredible that the quality of food that comes off the boat, and most of the long range boats provide this kind of quality, and to have a chef, you got to think about this, gang. There's a lot of chefs out there, but there isn't a lot of chefs that can stand in a galley when it's moving at 12 miles an hour, and it's also rocking like crazy. So
Oh yeah.
your hat needs to go off to that guy. And like we said, Duke, we can't control the fish, but we can control what's going on in that galley. Just like your dad and Brian and Tim and Roy will tell you, that's the only thing we really can control. I mean, we all want to catch fish like we did on that last trip. That's kind of what we're going for. But the food's going to be there, and you're going to be blessed with some quality food. Now okay, what happened there? I don't know what happened. Hold on. There, you're back.
Oh,
So,
there it is.
yep, we're back. I don't know what happened. So now it's time to go lay down. It's time to go. But what are we sleeping on? Are we sleeping on a bunk, on a thin piece of vinyl? What are we sleeping on? Are we going into a bed? Or we got a bedroom? Do we got a TV? We got a sink? What's going on?
So we have 12 two-man staterooms with bunk assemblies, bunk beds. They also are equipped with sinks, portable. They have lights, chargers, a big cabinet space for everyone to put their belongings in, and underneath the bunks you also have some more storage. Whether it's not, we have beers or sodas under there for the trip that's going on. But they're pretty darn spacious, man. I mean, people sleep in them comfortably. We have two larger ones aft of the boat, number 7 and 8. We also have 4 heads, 3 showers. So you have an upstairs shower with bathroom. You have an outside bathroom, no shower in there, and then 2 downstairs heads as well with showers equipped in both.
What?
So you're pretty much set up, man. You got plenty of room to move around, and I can't really name, especially for a 92-foot boat, to have 4 showers or 3 showers on the boat for you to use. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is. And then you guys make water, right? So we could take a shower. We could take a shower. We could take a
We do.
shower all day if we wanted to, right?
Yeah, you could take the lady shower. Yeah. So we have a water maker on board, and we generally keep that tank full throughout the trip, unless we're going through some snotty weather, to accord with our ballast of the boat, obviously. But we shouldn't have any trouble with water throughout the trip, unless something's broken and we can't fix it, which I find that very hard to believe. We have plenty of spare parts to fix it, and we also have plenty of experience to fix anything that's broken on this
Yeah, it's
boat.
pretty spectacular. I just want to go back to the water for a minute. People don't quite understand. I've been blessed. I've been in the yachting world for a long time, and the water makers are making water, gang, right out of the ocean. And this is some of the best drinking water you could ever imagine because you're getting to see where the water's coming from. You guys are down there, 1,100 miles down there. The water's purple blue, and they're making water to drink right out of the ocean. It is a pretty incredible experience for those. You
Yep.
know, if you listen to the governor in the state of California, you can't do that. That's an impossibility. But you guys are doing it on a daily basis, which is pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
Making water.
Yeah, and going back to that water is you obviously have a filter system, but you're as the chief engineer who's running that water maker, you're constantly looking at the water, the color of it. You're looking at what's in the water itself, your water temp, making sure it's clean. And it's also beneficial to fishing too, because that chief engineer, he's looking at the water. Oh, that looks off color. That doesn't look good. I don't want to make water in that. He can look on the water chart and see, okay, we got 5 miles to go, and it's a little bit cleaner patch. I'm going to start it then. So that's all crucial to it. Water color doesn't necessarily mean that it's clean water, because obviously you have a filter system. But when you do have the cleaner color to it, like a purple color, it generally your filters last a little bit longer, and you run it a little bit quicker into the tank.
Right, gang, and it matters. All this stuff that we're talking about is stuff you'll never hear about in the industry. No one's really talking about, but this is all the stuff that sets our long range fleet apart from anything else in the world. What these guys do on a daily basis, and you guys are at the dock really, literally, not even for a whole day, and you're getting ready to leave on an 8-day, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is a rare occasion too, because we run pretty much as soon as we're done with a trip. It's a turnaround trip. So as soon as we back in, we get all the passengers off, and we get all of our fish off, and we scrub the boat. We're going right back out on another trip. So after this 8-day, we have a 2-day trip. After that, we have a couple 3 days, and that's when our short trip season starts. But it's turnaround throughout the year, so there's no sitting down, taking a break, having a cup of coffee. No, it's constantly work, 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 work until everything
Yeah,
is
those
done.
boats don't make any money sitting at the dock. No one's just pouring money out of the
No, they
sky
don't.
into the bait tank.
No, they don't. Yeah.
We're going to talk more about how to get on the boat and some other cool parts about this whole operation, but I have to do a little business right now. Promar is the reason why we get to do this show on Mondays and Tuesdays and our live fishing shows. And I just want to show you, we got a contest going on right now. We gave away, Jackson won the contest for the month of April. He won $200 worth of products from Promar. I'm going to show you a little video of the Promar rock cod squirts real quick, and that kind of is what we're doing in SoCal right now. We're not on the Royal Star every day going wahoo fishing. We're actually fishing for what's biting in Southern California, which is rockfish, stuff like that. So look at this little video of the rock cod squirts real quick, and we'll get right back with Duke, and we'll keep this show going. We're learning so much. Thanks, Duke. I don't know if you've been paying attention to our website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, but if you go and you look through the community section and look at all the pictures of all the great rockfish that Justin's catching with all of his clients and all the members are using, they're using these rock cod squirts, gang. These rock cod squirts are a game changer when you're fishing those rockfish. These things are already pre-rigged, ready to go. All you got to do is take them out of the package, you hook your sinker onto the already pre-tied swivel, and then you hook your main line, your piece of braid, right to the other swivel on the other end, and you have two pre-made hooks that already have squid lures on them, and these look just like the red crabs that these rock cod have been feeding on for the last 5 or 6 years out here in Southern California. These things are deadly. They work great. They also make them in a glow-in-the-dark white color. I like the pink ones the best. That seems to work the best for me, but you're going to go with whatever you prefer. But these are the rock cod squirts. Put in the code YSWG and save 10% on your order.
You guys got going on an ad?
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Just no. And then I'll have yours. Get back home. And going good?
What happened? Can't hear him now.
It's the ad. He mutes you when you hear the ad.
Okay. But yeah, no, everything's going good. We're talking about Galley.
Talking about what?
The Galley.
Sweet.
These two guys, what they
All
accomplished.
you got to do is tighten that down, right?
Yep. She looks good.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. Yay. I don't know what the heck I did wrong there. All right. So, gang, now we're going to talk about the fishing thing because we talked about the amenities of the boat, which are great. And now you guys all know it's like a luxury liner. But now, Duke, people are watching this. They got a couple of fishing poles. They're kind of overwhelmed. I don't know what I should bring. How should I go about this? What do you think of the guys that bring like that tackle box that you need a forklift to lift onto the boat, and they got like every single fishing pole they own and every reel they own, and they show up? We don't need to do that, right?
No, not at all. I'm all about simplifying everything too. I mean, myself, I love tackle. I mean, you walk into a tackle shop and you see this beautiful rod, you're like, oh man, I don't have one of those. I might need to buy one. But the bottom line is, I mean, you could look at the fish counts and you can look at the grade of the fish of what they're catching. Call the tackle shops. Call the tackle shops or call one of the crew members if you have their number. See what grade fish they're catching. See what size line they're catching. They're using for that fish. So for me, when it comes down to it, if I'm going on, let's say I'm going on a 3-day trip and I got some rods at home, but I don't know what to bring, I would call the tackle shop and ask, okay, what lines are they using? What hooks are they using? What kind of jigs are they using? And just kind of go based off of that. I'd bring a max of 4 rods. I think that's more than fine of what we're doing on a 3-day. You're probably going to be fishing 40-pound fly line baits. You're probably going to be fishing nighttime bluefin with heavy jigs. And you might have an opportunity for some kelp patty fishing with 25-pound or 30-pound test. And for your fourth rod, you can have a fun stick, whether that's a jig rod fishing the surface iron, whether that's a heavier rod for a sinker rig or for a dropper loop or for rock cods. And that's pretty much it. That's how I'd go about it.
And then when you're saying call the tackle stop, just don't call any tackle. You talk Fisherman's Landing tackle, right? Call
Yeah,
there, talk to Rick and the boys in the shop there, and they know, they talk to you guys whenever you hit the dock, right?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we come back from a trip, we have to grab our stuff from the locker and grab maybe a few more items for our next trip for tackle wise. So they're constantly asking us questions of what we're catching, what we're seeing, how we're catching them. So they have the best information of what we're doing real time, and they are also getting the fish counts because they're active fishermen as well. So they're fishing. So I think if you go to Fisherman's Landing, call them up or go down to the shop, talk to Ricky or one of the boys there. I think you have a better understanding of what we're going to be fishing for that trip than calling our office or going to the boat freaked out with 20 different rods, not knowing what to fish for.
And it's not that Lori in the office doesn't want to help. It's just that she doesn't have the pertinent information of what you guys, she's not there when you come in, standing there as you walk through the tackle shop, going to the locker to get some stuff out of there. So Ricky is, it's pretty much his business, and Doug, their business depends on making sure you guys have the right product when you go fishing with these guys. So it's kind of imperative that you ask them instead of just winging it. And something I learned a long time ago, whatever worked yesterday, it's probably not working today.
Yep.
Because you caught fish on something last year when you went fishing with Duke and Tim, you may want to check in and see because things change. Stuff is different. Things are changing. You don't want that tackle box that you got to have the forklift to lift it on the boat. And Duke doesn't want to lift it on the boat for you, for goodness sakes.
I'm more than happy to do that, but I don't think it's necessary in a lot of different applications, especially for nighttime bluefin fishing like we're seeing right now on these shorter trips. Bring a few jigs, bring some hooks, bring a little bit of fluorocarbon, maybe a few nighttime leaders, and you're good to go. That's pretty much it. Especially on one of these boats too, where you already have a bunk that's got a pillow, got a blankets, you got all your meals all set up. You don't need to bring snacks. You can always, of course, bring that. You have plenty of water on the boat, coffee. You really don't need to bring that much stuff.
Now I'm on the boat as passenger, and all of a sudden you guys go, "Hey, we're flipping into the kite thing. We're going to do the kite thing today." Oh my gosh, I don't have a kite rod. What's going to happen when my number comes up? What are you going to do, Duke? Do you have a rod I can use? Can I catch my bluefin on one of the boat rods?
Yeah. So of course we're gonna if one of the anglers has a kite set up that they would prefer to use over one of ours, they're more than happy to. But we have plenty of kite tackle that's just been serviced too. I mean, literally just been serviced. So we have more than enough tackle to suit everyone up for when that time comes around, when their number gets called. Let's say we have 5 fish hanging on the kite and your number gets called. We've still got another rod for you to fish up there on the kite, or we will fish it and bring it down to you when your number is called. So we have plenty of that. And we also have loaner tackle too. Let's say you forget a rod at home, or you misjudge something. You're like, oh shoot, I brought my 25-pound rod and there's 100 to 150-pound bluefin biting off the corner and I don't have that rod. We have loaner tackle that we're not going to charge you on. Of course, if you bust one off or something happens and the jig goes missing, you will be accountable for that. But you also have a brand new stick that we have on the boat readily available that we can set you up with. So we have plenty of loaner tackle on the boat if someone forgets something or doesn't have that and needs to borrow it. As well as Fisherman's Landing. They also have rental tackle too.
Right. No, exactly. But there's those times, like Duke said, where you're out there and all of a sudden, hey, and Duke's like, here, use this rod. And he's not going to give you a rod that isn't going to work. He's not going to go, aha, yeah, use this, and then we can all laugh at you. No, that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, a lot of people are watching, they're like, what is Dave and Duke talking about? My number came up. I bought a ticket. Don't I get to just fish? No. Well, this kite thing is a unique animal, gang. You need to understand. There's there's a deal that's going on. Can you kind of break that down and explain to them what we mean by the number? When your
Yeah,
number,
absolutely. Absolutely. So based on the Coast Guard manifest, you have a number 1 through 24 on our boat because we only hold 24 anglers. So wherever your number, you'll be distributed a tag number, which is your designated number for both trolling, your fish, and your kite number, and on your beer and soda list. It will be held in our galley doors. So you can look down on that list, look at your name. Right to the left of it, you will see your tag number. That tag number will be designated for your fish. So let's say you catch a fish and and one of the boys asks you, "Hey, what's your number?" "Oh, I'm number 12. Okay. We're going to staple on number 12 on that fish after it's been blood spiked and the whole 9 yards. We'll also ask you if you would like it processed. We do not cut fish on our boat. We either bring them up to the top of the dock for you to deal with, or they go directly to Fisherman's Processing if you would like that and you have a reservation. So if you do have a reservation with Fisherman's Processing, you would say, I would like that processed. We'll cut the tail and that will be delivered directly to Fisherman's Processing. Now, going to the kite thing, we go from 1 to 24. So let's say we hook the first fish of the trip on the kite. That will be number 1, and it'll go down from there. So number 2 will be next. Number 3 will be after that. Yada, yada, yada. Troll teams, we go 1 through 4, 4 through 8, 8 through 12. Once again, same system. So wherever your number is, based on that team or based on that kite rotation, you have to listen for it, and that will be your turn, depending on where you are in that Coast Guard manifest.
So now I know and you know, but we're trying to let everybody else know. So my number is 4, and number 1 and number 2 and number 3 have all got a fish on the kite. How long do I get to stand next to that kite rod waiting for that fish to bite? What's 15 minutes, an hour? What's the deal?
We give everyone an opportunity to catch a fish. And if it's a shark, usually you get another turn, or if it's whatever, a junk fish, we let everyone get on that turn until it is a game fish. Same thing for trolling rotation. So anyone who's in that rotation, if they do not catch a game fish or the targeted species during that, they're still on that rotation. Someone within that in that group, 1 through 4, or if you're on the kite, your number.
That's pertinent information for people to understand that you're standing here. They're not, okay, number 2, you had your 12 minutes, you didn't get a bite. Next. No, you're going to get to hang out. If they're biting on the kite, and as far as bites go, we all want to bite. That's the only reason why we fish. That bite is probably the most important part of fishing. We all want to feel that bite. But when you're on the kite rod and you get to see that fish blow up, that's pretty spectacular, right, Duke?
It's one of my favorite styles. I mean, you get the whole visual aspect of it. You get to see the fish jump 5 feet out of the water for the bait, but you're also actively fishing because you can see what's going on. You aren't on the back deck flying a line on a sardine, not seeing what your bait's doing or not feeling what your bait's doing. When you're up on that kite, you see everything that's going on, whether that's a salami, whether that's a flying fish, whether that's 2 sardines on the double treble rig, whatever. You get to see everything that's going on. So it's pretty enjoyable.
And it's a really fun fishery, the way that the long range boats get you involved, because a lot of times you're on a yacht or you're on your back east fishing, and it's like not that way where you're stationary fishing and the bait is out there underneath the kite and it's flying out there and the bait's on the surface. So everything is surface. It's just like when you're fly fishing with the dry fly, gang. You're watching the whole thing happen. You're seeing their technique. You're seeing what they're doing. It's a phenomenal learning. Besides a great way to catch a fish, you get to learn so much. It's kind of a different operation than trolling 2 or 3 kites behind the boat, catching sailfish back east or something. It's a totally different thing. You're on a 100-foot long sport fishing vessel. A lot of times you're anchored on a bank. You're drifting out in the middle of the ocean or something, and you got a bait out there, and other guys are fishing their way, and you're waiting. It is just a really unique opportunity to see a totally different way to fish. I think it's pretty bitchin'.
100%.
I just think it's just absolutely one of the most insane things. Now, there's some phenomenal pictures you sent me. This whole operation is your family, your
Yep.
mom, your dad, and you guys are involved in this. And this is a pretty special picture right here. Can you kind of explain who's in this picture with you?
So yeah, that's my mom on my left, and then my dad on my right. That's when I was at Vanderbilt University playing baseball. Sadly, that had to come to an end because of my shoulder problems. But that was one of the dreams come true. I always told them that I wanted to play for Vanderbilt baseball ever since I was a little kid. We watched them in the College World Series playing in Omaha, and sure as I think I was, what was I? End of freshman year, early sophomore year, I committed to Vanderbilt University for baseball and scholarship. Went over there for a year, and they got to see me over there in my uniform, the whole 9 yards. Didn't get to play because of my shoulder, but they got to see me out on the field with the boys and making memories. So that was a pretty dang cool day.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. As a father and as a grandfather, yeah, seeing this picture, I was just like, oh my gosh, what a proud day for your mom and dad to be standing there with you, getting that picture taken, and your dad wearing that hat. Oh my gosh, just
Oh
an
yeah,
incredible experience. And then there's a couple of other pictures that bring a tear to my eye because unfortunately 3 years ago I lost my dad, and we grew up in the sport fishing industry also. This picture, I don't have a picture like this with me and him on the boat, but this is pretty epic. This is man, you're gonna look back at this when you're my age, and you're just gonna go, "Thank God I got this. This is gold. This is love. This is it, man. You guys are there, and you're doing
yeah,
it right."
yeah.
It's
That was a good time. We were going down that was our last 16 day. That was our last 16 days. So we were going down to our fishing area, our destination, we'll call it. And we were just talking a little bit, talking about what was going downstairs, and also bringing back good memories. And it was a good time. A good time. I forgot. I think that was Bart Ryder who shot that. He sent it directly to my mom. And us that she hadn't seen me for like texted me. Oh, seems like you're still having a good time. I see. Sent me that. That was pretty classic.
And what I would tell you, Duke, is it kind of seems kind of lame and silly when we're in the moment and we're out there doing our jobs, and we're real men and we're out there doing real men stuff on the boat, and this kind of stuff, we stop for this and we're kind of like, this kind of lame. No, when you get to my age and you look back and dad's gone, this is the real stuff that'll grab you and hold on to you. So take as much advantage of that. And then here's a really sweet, this is, I don't know, this made me cry when I looked at this.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
the long rods.
Look at that, guys. They're hooked up to tuna down there in the middle of the ocean. You see any boats around? You see
No.
any land around? But look at those smiles. That's them. They're doing it. Father, son. Duke, how important is it to get kids out there outside enjoying the outdoors? Getting outside, what a missed opportunity so many young people have today, right? Because you went to college, you saw everybody, a lot of kids never got a chance to do stuff outside.
Uh, I'll give you a college. I'll give you a college experience for me. So my first few months there, I was getting to know everyone, getting to know my fellow teammates, and they were all just blown away by how much time I spent outdoors and going different places and experiencing real life outdoors with real men and professionals. They couldn't even believe it. I mean, they were asking me, "Wait, you've worked? You've had a job? You know how to do an oil change? You know how to fix this? You know how to?" They were just blown away by it. I mean, that's how I've been raised. I've been born and raised in a professional environment where you are literally dealt a hand of you need to fix it or you need to clean it. So I've been around. It's so important I hope that we see a change in kids nowadays too, because they're just brought into video games and looking at their iPads and looking at their iPhones instead of going outside and learning nature, being around nature and seeing how beautiful it really is. I mean, you look at fishing. Fishing is it's a great sport. Not only that, but it's also a great chance to look at scenery. People think of fishing as just a bloody mess and hideous and smells bad. It's not. I mean, I can send you millions of pictures of beautiful sunsets, whales, dolphins, orcas, islands, all types of destinations that we've been across, and it's just gorgeous, man. The eclipse, that was what was that, 2 years ago now? 1 year ago? We were out in the middle of the ocean looking at the eclipse. So it's so important for kids to just experience nature, and it doesn't need to be fishing. It can be hunting, it can be hiking, but fishing's a great way for people to just engage with nature and engage with the outdoors.
And the really cool thing is we've got a young man here who's letting you all know how important it is. You hear it from me, you hear it from his dad, you hear it from Roy Rose, you hear it from a lot of the guests that we've had, Paul Hebert on the show, how important it is to take your children out fishing, get them involved in going outside, go for a hike, just do something outdoors. Well, now you got a guy that just came out of college, saw what's going on, sees the mentality of what's going on there. And now he's telling you how really important it is to be the person that gets him outside. Now, if you're not an outdoorsman, that's okay. I bet you got an uncle or an aunt or a brother or sister or someone. Take your take your young people outside. Get outside. It's up to us. I know a lot of people bitch and complain because everybody's staring at this. And don't get me wrong, I stare at the damn thing all day because it's how I make a living. But go outside, enjoy your life. Another thing that's really cool that people don't understand that we get to see so many different birds out on the water that you don't even know. You're just like, I've never seen that bird before. And you've seen a million birds, and you're like, that bird? What's that white bird with the tail that's like 4.5 feet long? There's a little tern out there that flies around with a tail feather that's 4.5 feet long. And then you're like, well, I've seen every tern, but I never seen that tern. And that's the kind of stuff we get to see on it. And we take advantage of it. And the whales, the epic amount of different kinds of sea life that you see. Yeah, the fishing's fun, but all the other stuff is just so bitching to be a part of. And then Duke, 6 years old, first trip, a long range trip. Come on, there's so many people my age on here watching right now that have never done a long range trip. And Duke's first time he ever went fishing was on a 7-day trip. Those of you, I mean, we got a huge audience right now watching that didn't see the beginning of this. I would say go back and look and listen to this story. Turn this on to your kids. Turn this on because, you know, I know a lot of kids don't want to listen to a couple old men talk, but they can relate to what Duke's saying. They can totally get involved. He's like right there. He's just 4 or 5 years older than them. And he's telling you, gang, it's super important to get out there and do this. And then you guys got a cool Instagram page that you're posting a lot of cool stuff on. I'm going to show it to everybody right now. What we need you all to do, gang, we got a nice big audience. Just go over there and click the follow button. It's not going to cost you anything. Helps the algorithm, helps push it out in front of all the people that want to go fishing with Duke and his dad and the crew on the Royal Star. This is your Instagram page right now, right? This is the one you got back?
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's a few of the past trip that we just came back from, and you can see that delicious meal right there, that wahoo. Still thinking about that meal.
That's coming out of that galley we were talking about. It's not really a galley, it's more like a kitchen, but that's on the boat. That's a meal on the boat right there. But that's the Instagram page, gang. Take a picture with your phone, jump on it afterwards, just hit the follow button. And then it kind of explained to people, they're like, oh, you only got 1,000 followers. Yeah, well, because they got their page hijacked. So they're building it. It's brand new. It's just starting to come together. And Duke's kind of running the thing. So jump on there and hit the follow button, gang. You don't understand. Algorithm is everything. This is going to push it out for everybody else. If you're enjoying what you're hearing from Duke, hit that follow button. It's free. It's right there. You can see it. Right, Duke?
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to that too, we have a really young crew. So we're all about taking pictures and making memories for our anglers on the boat. But not only do we get to send those pictures to our anglers during the trip, but we also get to broadcast them to all you guys. You guys can see what we're catching, what we're doing, and how people are enjoying it while they're on the trip. So it's a great thing. It's I think it's really crucial for our business too, for the younger generation. Not only see it because we see how many people are proactive throughout social media, but what else? You get to see sport fishing. Where else do you get to see a sport fishing vessel do what we do throughout the entire world? Nowhere. Nowhere. No one else has RSW. No one else really has Starlink that can text their wives or send them a picture, do their workout on the water. No one can do that. So it's a really cool thing. We really enjoy it, and we're trying to build it to be a bigger thing in the future too.
Well, I'm going to try to help you guys out a little bit. You guys can be the biggest and the best because nobody in the industry understands social media. They can tell you they do, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't. Captain Dave Hansen has 800,000 followers. He's live every single day, and the industry's going. They're all just standing there with their jaws hanging open, going, "What happened?" Yeah,
Yeah.
because I understand social media, and you and your crew, you could crush this thing. You guys could be at 1 million followers very, very quickly if you stay on this and you post consistently. With the Starlink today, there's no reason to not be posting 2 or 3 reels every single. I post, just so you know, Duke.
Mm-hmm.
This will blow your mind, gang. I'm 63 years old. Every single morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, I post a picture on every social media platform. And what do you mean by every social media? Here, listen: TikTok, X, Threads, Spotify, Apple, Megaphone, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram. We're on 7 different platforms. Exactly at 7 o'clock every single morning, the picture goes out. And you guys can schedule that. Then at 8 o'clock, every single day at 8 o'clock, my first video of the day goes out. I'm 63 years old.
Consistent.
12
Gotta
o'clock
love it.
Pacific, at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, our podcast goes out. Then at 2 o'clock, our next video goes out. And then at 6 o'clock at night, our last video goes out. And this goes out every single day. It's not that hard to be the biggest and the best. You just got to be consistent. And you guys, with the young guys you got on the boat, I would tell your dad, I'd tell Brian, I'd tell Randy, hey guys, while we're traveling, you guys, every day, one of you has to post a video.
That's my job right now. They don't really understand that aspect, and they aren't that good at it. They aren't that quick. So I've been taking over that lead. Luckily, I have a little bit of NIL experience, which is name, image, and likeness throughout college, which we all know now with college sports. If you follow college sports, they aren't college athletes anymore. They're professional athletes. They're getting paid. So being able to represent the boat and take it on as almost an NIL thing where we're representing the boat through social media. We're trying to broadcast that to other people, to other brands, to other fishermen, to other businesses. We see it. I've seen so many different businesses. They're doing similar things to us now where they're creating montages of their trips. I think that's so cool. Like taking an idea that we're sharing to the everyone out in the world and seeing these other boats do that as well. I mean, that's a great thing. I think it's gonna be great for their businesses too. It's totally different. Instead of a simple picture and then 3-paragraph long gosh dang it, report of what we've been doing and having a quick montage and some videos to actually show what we're talking about. I think that's a lot cooler and a lot more new than what it used to be. So
right. And then the algorithm will pick up if you guys are answering comments.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we're doing that too.
I get to talk to Duke. My God, Duke answered my question. Oh my God.
Yep.
Duke, that is so cool. Now you got a follower for life. You got a follower for life, and you guys are gonna kill this thing. And then the thing we're doing now with you guys allowing us to go out there on the boat and fish live with you guys, that is just next level spectacular stuff that we're just gonna capitalize on. The team you and I are creating here, the collaboration, it's going to be so big. It's just, I want to be honest with you. When we got done with that show with Dad and Roy and you the other day, I danced with my wife right afterwards because I knew we had just changed. We just did something really dramatic. We just changed the industry dramatically. Now every single sport boat wants to do this live thing. It's crazy.
I think that's a great thing too. It brings them a little bit more interaction with the general public too, because they see us doing it. Why shouldn't they do it? Why shouldn't anyone else do it? They can. They got Starlink. Everyone can do it. And we also have some great ideas too. We're gonna at some point get Gerby in here, or Brian Sims. He's gonna be a part with Roy and obviously my dad too. So maybe some cool yellowtail fishing or some big yellowfin. I think that'd be pretty cool. Bluefin.
The kite, just
Oh yeah.
getting live on the kite, anchored up, doing that thing, seeing what you're doing. We don't have to show them how you do it, but we can show them the bite.
Oh man, I that just brought up. So once we finished that show, what was that? That was
Saturday.
Saturday. So right after that, we anchored up. Obviously, I had this 250-pounder jump 5 feet out of the water on the bait and missed it. It was insane. We were all, oh my gosh, right next to the boat.
That is,
Yeah,
that's like some of the best stuff.
crazy.
And like you and I were talking a minute ago, Duke, what I'm trying to tell everybody is I want the industry to succeed. This is our industry. My father started in this industry in 1947. I don't care if you're long range fishing, you're half day fishing. It's sport fishing in Southern California. This is our industry. So I'm trying to help our industry no matter what anybody says. I bring in the biggest names of the industry. I just want to share what I've been able to build out of nowhere. And I want to share it with the industry, and I want the industry to be involved. A lot of the guys, dude, they don't understand. They're like, oh, I'm not going on there and helping Hanson. You're helping the industry, you ding dongs. You don't get
100%.
it. You're helping the industry.
Everything around it too. And it's not even just our sport fishing business. It's everyone around that's involved with fishing or involved with boats. This can be a yacht guy who's running a 6-pack charter. This can be a center console skiff running 4-packs. This can be a big giant boat down in Florida that's running trips too. It could be anywhere. So we're representing everything, the whole entire picture, which we hope that other people throughout other industries or other ways of life running their boats, they jump on too, and they can explain what they do. Makes the whole entire image of fishing a lot more clear for the public.
Exactly. You and I both know, and I say this a lot on my podcast. I've been doing this for a long time. I was one of the first guys to open up the books and make videos on the spots and all that stuff. And I was very well hated for a very long time for doing all that. But we were never allowed to share. And if you got caught sharing, if you got caught doing what you and I and Roy and your dad did the other day, oh my gosh, you would have been crucified. You would have been
Yep.
scary. It'd have been a scary day when you got to the dock back in the day.
Yep.
If you let someone up in the bridge, boy.
Yep. Some guys just still stick by that, but we're all about we're here to share what we do, what we bring to our anglers. We're here to show that. There's no if you're hiding everything, what's the point of that? You can't showcase what you're doing, what you get if you come on one of these trips.
And the way that the world is today, you got to evolve or you're going to
Yep.
be left behind. People want to see what the hell's going on. And what we did opening up the Royal Star to the world, it's going to only help the whole industry.
Yep.
It's going to help the whole industry. And I know you've got a ton of work to do. What time are you leaving tomorrow?
We are, let's see, I'm going to arrive here around 5 a.m. Just get everything started. I think we're going to leave around 8 a.m. 8 a.m., load up on our beautiful load of sardines, and off we go. I think we're going to head to Olaos Rocks.
Nice.
Yellowtail and yellowfin tuna.
There's no skin there yet.
Little cold water. It's about 67, 66 and a half, 67, maybe 67 and a half. But
all right. Well,
plenty of yellowtail and yellowfin tuna. I know that.
Nice. Well, maybe we can log in with you while you're down there. We'll check it out.
I think that's a possibility. I think that's definitely going to be a possibility. Let's just hope there's some good fishing to cooperate with us.
Yep, the fish are added extra bonus. Just talking with you today was a pleasure, Duke. This was such a great interview. You're a wealth of knowledge. You're wonderful to have on here. I hope we get to have you on here again. I'm going to let you go back to the massive mountain of work you have to do right now, gang. Thank you so much for being with us today. And you can go back and answer the comments if you have time. I know you really don't have any time, but maybe while you're cruising down to Olejos the next couple of days, you can look through here and answer some comments.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can leave a direct message on Instagram too. I'd be happy to respond to anyone that wants to ask us a question of anything involving our industry and anything involving our boat. I'd be more than happy to answer that for them.
And thank your dad for letting us have a little time in the bridge to talk to you today. I know He's probably stressed. How much longer are you going to talk to Dave? We got stuff to do.
He
Come
actually
on.
just asked me. He was like, "How's it going? Everything good?" Yeah, no. This is really important for us too. So that's part of the reason why I took this time. It's really important for everyone to know what's going on.
Well, thank you so much. Thank everybody at Royal Star, the family, everyone. Thank you guys, and we will talk soon. Gang, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, share this all over the place. Help out the industry by sharing this, and we will talk to you soon, dude. Good luck on your trip, and hopefully we see you down at the rocks. That would be pretty fun.
Thank you much. Yeah, absolutely. I think that we can make that work.
All
Let's see
right,
where
I'll check
everything's
in
going.
with you. Take care. I'm on my way to Iowa tomorrow, but I'll call you when I get there.
All righty, Mr. Hanson. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.